We are renovating this little shop here on the beautiful Catherine Hill in Frome, Somerset, into the bookshop of our dreams. And in this series, we're going to be showcasing that renovation, everything from knocking down internal walls to selecting the decoration to the colour scheme and paints, but also more broadly, what it takes to start a small independent business. Our branding, me learning about the book trade, what it takes to think about the logistics and administration of a small business. But primarily, I think we'll focus on that renovation journey to start with. And I'm lucky that my wonderful partner, Agat, has been completely across this. Some of you might have followed me on Instagram, where I'm at English Pilgrim, and have seen my passion for heritage and conservation, particularly old churches, but also the English countryside, and a passion for all things sustainability and environmentalism related. And it's those themes that are going to be the focus of the bookshop. So in this episode, Agat is going to take you on a tour of our little shop at the start of our renovation journey. And we're going to tell you a little bit about how we got here to Frome in Somerset. As you can see, it's absolutely stunning, and really what inspires us and why now we've decided to go on this exciting journey. We hope you can follow along.
So welcome to the shop. I'm going to give you a full tour of the premises as they are right now, and we can start sharing with you some of the ideas that we have for redesigning it as a lovely magical bookshop. Come on in. Right now, as you can see, it's a hair salon. You've got the two hairdressing stations right there, a beautiful window overlooking the cobbled street of Frome. This is really a super desirable location because once a month our town has a massive independent market and there are stalls all over here, and whilst tourists are looking lost and they don't know where to go between all the yummy and beautiful stalls, we'll be right there for them to take a little literary break. So we're probably going to have loads of shelvings, as much as we can, on this wall. We really have to optimize how much shelf space we can get into the space because our product are books, so they need to be on display. There's also something really cozy about being wrapped by shelves full of beautiful books. There's this little sort of nook here which sits underneath stairs because this used to be a house and this door would have led you to the upstairs. The building is grade 2 listed, which is a conservation of old buildings certification here in the UK. So we're also going to do a little nook here full of bookshelves, another big wall here. Obviously this is going, there'll be no use for it. And we're probably going to knock this wall halfway down to create a counter that will allow us to sit behind and not infringe at all with the sort of business management side of the shop onto the retail space. So yeah, right now it's a little kitchenette. Not sure where the light is, but it isn't going to stay this way very long.
On the side.
There we go. Oops. Yeah, we're going to do a lot of work here because we don't have use for all of this. Certainly we'll need a bit of storage, but probably not too much because we want as much on display as possible. We'll probably have here our logo to replace the current one. We may reinstate the windows. As you can see, there are these little like wooden arches that are really visible from the outside. And we may reinstate the sort of, I guess, wooden sort of dowels that will go in the middle. I think they have a name, but I haven't quite figured out what they are. And similarly to now, we'll have pendant lights, but maybe one per window, and definitely antiques in keeping with the style of the shop. So there you have it. And yeah, you're gonna have to follow for more progress and see if we can pull it off, but we're super excited.
To finish off this episode, we thought we'd tell you a little bit about how we got here to Frome and how the bookshop dream got started for us.
Hi everyone! We're here under the chestnut tree, which is a really important place for us because a couple of years ago, when we first came to Frome, it's probably up or down that path under this magical tree that we decided we loved it here in Somerset and we were ready to start something brand new and exciting with our lives.
Yeah, and it was quite random. We were on a pilgrimage from Bath to Glastonbury. We hadn't been to Frome before, and we just had a pint at the Three Swans, and then we were heading to our campsite that night, just north of Frome, and we walked down this pathway, and we just thought, wow, it's utterly magical. And yeah, we were chatting away and kind of imagining a new life.
I think that around the fire, you probably said something like, oh, I could see myself, I dream of myself keeping a bookshop, wearing a chunky knitwear jumper, drinking a hot tea with a Lagotto Romagnolo lying at my feet, and I would be the happiest man. And we've got the Lagotto Romagnolo, that's our little baby Mona over there. We've got the bookshop, we gotta get you a chunky sweater now, but we're almost there on the dream.
We have like a quarter of a bookshop at the moment.
Yeah, that's true.
We have an empty shop. We will get there. Yeah, so we were, well, discussing that around the campsite here a few years ago, and now we are doing it. But I don't think at the start of this year we thought we'd be doing this now. No. However, at the end of last year, I had really bad anxiety after we did the Camino de Santiago pilgrimage across the north of Spain that summer, and it was so hot. It was insanely hot, and we saw wildfires, and it really shook me up. Like, my environmental anxiety hit the roof. So this year we wanted to do something big and positive, and that spirit kind of started to build for us as the year went on. Then we saw this shop come up, and we were just like, let's do it. Let's just jump in. Life's too short. So that's the journey we're going to be sharing with you, and hopefully this gives you a little bit of background on why we're doing this.
Yeah. And it really shows how we're going full circle on our mission, because what really motivated us was a love for nature, a drive to protect it. We are climate professionals and have been for decades, and hopefully with the bookshop and all the wonderful books that we will be selling, people get inspired, people fall in love with nature again, even when it's wild. And it inspires people a more sustainable lifestyle and a care for the environment that we all live in.
Okay, I think we should leave it there before we get blown off this hill. So goodbye from a very wet and windy Somerset.
See you in the bookshop.
And sorry the screen got all wet, but well, these are the elements.
It's nature.
Goodbye.